Hi, I'm Niall Heaney from Gulfstream Boat Sales. Today we're down in sunny Fermanagh here on a lovely winter's morning, and we're taking a look around this Birchwood 440 Challenger. This is a 1998 boat. It's a 45-foot flybridge boat. It's used a beam of 13.5 foot. It's fitted with a pair of Volvo Penta TMD 63Ps, 375 horsepower turbo diesel engines, and it has around about 660 hours on the clock. It's in beautiful condition throughout, really nicely updated in the last couple of years, and she's been fully prepared for sale. She's ready to go to a new home. We're going to take a walk around the boat now. We're going to show you all the features inside it. We're going to show you the condition that it's in, and we're also going to take it out on the lake and put it through its paces on the water, just to give you a better idea of what this boat's all about and help you to figure out whether it might be the right one for you. She's a beautiful, sleek looking boat. I think it still looks quite modern as well. We've got a nice overhang on the flybridge, which almost covers the entire aft cockpit. Huge aft cockpit, really big swim platform that we'll take a look at in a wee minute. Very wide side decks on this boat as well, because she is so wide, 13 foot 5 inches beam. You've got good wide side decks up both sides, very nice high guardrails as well. Very sleek looking boat. There's lots of chrome detail and things on her as well. And she's in remarkably good condition for a 98 boat. So taking a walk up along the starboard side of the boat here, she's in good condition. Now there is a few marks and scuffs on her. Being a 98 boat, you're going to expect that. So there's a little bit of spider's web cracking here on the buttress at the back, but you have to be sort of looking pretty hard for these things. You've got the Birchwood 440 Challenger badge down there, just above the rub rail. Starboard side, all the handrails are all obviously stainless steel in a very good condition. We've got a nice stainless steel rub rail all the way around the boat as well, with a black PVC insert. Chrome vent there on the stern of her in the generator compartment. Coming on up here, all your skin fittings are in good condition. You've got chrome vent covers. We've got our engine room vent midships on the starboard side in good condition. The bow rails are very good. They're a nice height as well, so you can make your way forward very safely. Cleats and things are in good shape. 2 midships cleats, good size. Again, rub rail up here is good. All the portholes are stainless steel and in good condition. And then coming all the way to the bow of her, boat does look lovely. Nice stainless steel anchor roller. We'll take a look up in the foredeck now in a wee minute. But everything up here looks the part. For a 98 boat, she is in remarkably good shape. There's a huge swim platform on the boat. It's the full width of the beam, so 13 foot wide, probably 2 or 3 feet deep, and it's all laid in flexi teak, synthetic teak decking. The owner lifted the original teak floor, which is in pretty poor condition there, about 2 years ago I think, and replaced it with this flexi teak throughout. So all the decks are pretty much brand new. It's a beautiful material. It feels and looks like real wood, but it's a vinyl effectively, so there's no maintenance, and it's a lifetime job. So all these panels are all laid in flexi and look the part. A couple of things to point out back here are the shore power hookup point, the starboard corner. There's a flagpole socket here. This is a nice stainless steel outboard bracket, really solid for mounting your outboard for your dinghy or whatever. We've got a transom shower, hot and cold running water. Now the shower head's been removed at the minute because the fresh water systems have been winterized. But you got a nice pull-out transom shower for rinsing off after a swim or hosing down the boat. This is like a hardwood combing piece on the top of the transom here, which the owner uses for like preparing food or having a picnic or setting up a little barbecue on. You could also use it for preparing, if you were fishing off the back of the boat. This boat is obviously a seagoing boat, so if you were doing a bit of sea fishing, you could use this as like a bit of a bait preparation area. But it's a nice feature, and it's been recently added as well. There's storage in underneath this locker for a life raft, or you could use it for a few fenders and things. It's got its own, that compartment is this compartment is completely lined as well, so you can put a life raft or anything in it. Or sorry, it's got a bilge pump in there for bailing overboard if there's any water finds its way in there. And then we've also got a pull-out stainless steel boarding ladder here on the port corner. So if you are swimming off the back of the boat, you got I think it's a 4-step ladder. So it means boarding the boat from the water is a breeze. Access into the cockpit is through this lockable transom gate. So it's a nice stainless steel and perspex transom gate. You can flip it open here. So it's nice, easy access into the cockpit. Boarding the boat is a breeze, and you also actually have nice raised areas here on the gunnels. So if you are tied alongside a pier or a high jetty, You can step on pretty easily from the side too, and because the guardrails are so high, the bow rails, you can use them as a bit of a handrail if you're stepping on from a height. But normal floating jetties and things, you'll be boarding from the stern and then easy access into the cockpit. There's a little light switch here for this external light, so it's your little courtesy light. I think that's live maybe all the time, but it means if you're boarding the boat at night time or leaving it at night, you can easily turn off and on the lights and illuminate your way into the cabin. We've got a huge aft cockpit here, one of the sort of big noticeable features in this boat. Massive cockpit back here, plenty of room to set out a couple of deck chairs. I think there's actually a couple of sort of director style chairs and a little table going with the boat, so you could easily set up your little table and chairs back here, have a meal or a picnic or whatever. Similarly, if you wanted to store sort of gear and equipment out here, this is the type of boat. It's like a big family floating holiday home type of boat, so you're going to want to go away for long weekends or weeks at a time on the water, and you usually, if you're doing that, you have a whole bunch of gear and things, so maybe kayaks and paddle boards and things like that. So there's a lot of room back here to sort of use it however you see fit. The decking here is all that new FlexiTake decking, so all brand new, a year or two ago, in really nice condition. We've got some nice fender storage here, these pockets on either side, and then your cleats, big chunky chrome cleats with these little recesses for the lines to go out, so it keeps the top of the gunnels nice and clear on both sides. What else do we have back here? We've got a manual bilge pump in here. Obviously the decks are all self-bailing, so you get your scuppers in the corner for draining the water out. Got a huge transom locker in here. The owner keeps the sort of cleaning materials and brushes and things like that. It's all in good condition. And then we've got engine access and access into the laserette onto the floor, which we'll take a look at now in a wee minute. Bit more storage back here. This locker, again, perfect for dock lines and fenders. We've got dedicated storage spot for another manual bilge pump for the handle in there. You've also got your diesel isolator valves in there, so if for any reason you need to shut the fuel off, that's where you can do it. In this side, we've got more storage. The owner keeps the screen wraps in there, dedicated spot for your boat hook. And then we've got great access into the saloon. So we've got like a triple folding door. It's aluminium frame and it's in really good condition. There's no corrosion or anything on it. It slides right open and gives you a beautiful wide walkway into the saloon. So in better weather, you can open the boat right up. And because you've got such a great overhang here as well, from the flybridge, it sort of makes this almost like another, it's sort of nice inside outside space. Access all around the decks on this boat is great. You've got really wide side deck access up both the port and starboard sides, about 18 inches wide. I'm going to take you a walk up there now to show you that and show you the foredeck. So it means if you're coming alongside the berth of the boat, your crew members can easily move up and down along the side of the boat, or similarly if you're going out on the foredeck to use the anchor or do a bit of sunbathing, it's easy to get up there. And then the other thing I really like about this boat is this nice sweeping staircase up to the flybridge. So nice easy access. The stairs aren't too steep. You've got good handrails either side of the staircase, and it means getting up and down to the flybridge is a pinch, even for kids, small kids or older family members who you have out in the boat. It should be no problem at all to get up and down to the flybridge in this thing. So taking a walk around the side decks, then we've got these nice easy stairs giving you access up here. The decks themselves are about 18 inches wide. You've got this great handrail down along the cabin roof line, runs the whole way around the front part of that as well. And then the bow rails come up nice and high, so they come up to above knee height, so you feel very secure as you're making your way forward. This little return on the handrail here is nice as well, so you can hold on to that for a little bit longer. The cleats and things don't interfere with where you're stepping. All the tread surfaces are all molded non-skid, including this area here on top of the cabin roof line. We've got nice chrome ventilators for the cabins on both the port and starboard side. We've got a beautiful recessed sun pad area there in the center of the deck, again with nice big stainless steel handrails down either side of it, so you can either have a cushion made for sunbathing out there, or just chuck down towels. I must actually check with the owner whether he has a sun pad cushion for there, because it looks like the wee track looks like there maybe was a cushion at one point in the past, so we'll double check that. But if not, it wouldn't be too big a deal to get one made up. And then you've got easy access up to the front here, where you've got foot switches for your anchor windlass. You've got access into, I'm just going to be careful up here because it is a bit icy today, access into your anchor locker. Good size anchor locker, plenty of anchor rode in there. Windlass it's a Lumar windlass in good working order. I got a nice chunky anchor on there as well. All the cleats are in perfect condition too. And as I say, the bow rails come all the way around, so you've got really safe access up here. We'll just walk down the other side now, so long as I don't slip off the side of the boat here in the ice. But yeah, windscreens are in good condition as well. The upper screen for the flybridge looks good. All the gel coat up here is in nice shape also. And it's just a load of room in this thing. Really is a very easy boat to make your way around. The Birchwood 440 badge on this side. Gel coat condition up along this side is very good as well. Windscreen for the flybridge looks the part. We'll take a look up there now in a bit more detail. And then you get similarly a really nice 3 easy steps back down into the cockpit. So great access all the way around the boat there. So it's a breeze getting up onto the flybridge. Whenever you are up here, again, you've got nice high guardrails all the way around it. This opening is protected with this guardrail as well, so there shouldn't be any chance of any of your guests inadvertently falling down through there. That would be a bad thing, obviously. And then the flybridge itself is very spacious, loads of room up here. We've got a twin wide helm seat here, central helm station, with room for a passenger beside the helmsman. Then we've got a nice L-shaped lounger seat on the starboard side, and then the back end of the flybridge is really just an open deck area that you could use for a bit of sunbathing or a bit of storing gear. Again, you could easily strap a couple of kayaks or something up here. So the flybridge is in nice condition. This seat looks like it's been reupholstered at some point in the past. It's in reasonably good order. You could probably have it redone again. The upholstery on the lounger seat is fine, but the seat backrest is a wee bit tired. It's obviously the cover. There's a brand new tonneau cover for the flybridge, which was renewed I think about 3 years ago. It obviously rests on the top of the seat, so it's taking its toll just. So you maybe want to get that recovered, but it's a pretty good condition. This looks like the original upholstery here. But because there's not a huge amount of upholstery, really wouldn't cost very much to recover the whole thing and just freshen it up. The flybridge hasn't really been used by the current owner very much at all, but it just depends on personal preference. Some people like to drive from the flybridge exclusively, other people like to drive from the saloon. It's just whatever you're used to. But we'll run through the dash up here and show you all the equipment that we've got on the dash. But because of that centrally located steering position, you get great visibility all the way around the boat. If you're getting used, if this is your first step into a flybridge boat, having something with a good upper helm station where you can keep an eye on everything, and makes it a wee bit easier to berth the boat and get to grips with it for the first time. But yeah, nice flybridge. All the deck's all molded fiberglass non-slip. You got a load of scuppers in the corners, so any water that finds its way up here will drain down onto the lower deck and then eventually overboard. All the stainless steel works in good condition, and the windscreen gives good protection from the elements. Whenever you're underway, it's all in good condition as well. This aft area of the flybridge is huge, really big area back here, again to do whatever you want with. You've got this nice chrome and perspex rail across the stern, which is in good condition. It's going to keep anybody or anything you store up here on the flybridge. And we've got this nice radar arch, which is in good condition, hasn't had any impact damage. A lot of times, particularly on freshwater examples of these boats, you can find if somebody sort of miscalculated a bridge, then you can find them where they've had a smack. But this one is in good condition, no damage or anything. It's on mark. We've got the Raymarine radome up here for the chart plotter system. We've got aerials, GPS aerials, horns, 2 VHF antennas for VHF and AAS most likely, and everything up here is in good condition. There are some screw holes here on both sides, and there is a stainless steel light bar that goes on here as well. Now the owner has it removed because being on the lakes and having the odd low bridge to encounter, he just wanted to reduce his overall running height. But there is a nice stainless steel frame with I think there's maybe an anchor light on there. It's the original bar, and it's going with the boat. It'll be put in it. I also double checked, and we do have four deck cushions as well, which are going with the boat too. So all those bits and pieces will all be loaded in before the boat goes anywhere. You got a couple of Clarion speakers up here, so you've got sound system on the flybridge as well as down below. And again, everything's just in really nice condition, and you can sort of, it's a nice usable bit of space, and you can just either extend your sort of lounging space or use it for additional storage, whichever suits you. So taking a look at the upper helm station here in the flybridge, first of all, a very nice steering position. You're close to the steering wheel. You've got a tilt adjust on the steering wheel as well, so you can get a nice comfortable steering position. It's a beautiful Ultraflex stainless steel wheel. There's a raised footrest underneath with teak slats on it, so you can sit here quite comfortably. You're bang on the centre line of the boat, so you get good visibility all around. The screen comes up to a decent height, so it does give you good protection from the wind, but you can clearly see over the top of it without any issues. And you can also see clearly out the back through underneath the radar arch as well, so you get good all-round visibility from up here. We've got the same digital throttle and shift levers as we do down at the lower helm up here, and we've got all the sort of instruments you would need for navigating, and we'll take a look through these in a minute. There's a bit of storage. Just clear this out of the way to show you. A wee bit of storage here over on the starboard side, nice deep storage bin, so you can fire odds and ends, phones and things in there out of the way. And then we've got another one on this side, although this has been turned into a mountain station for the secondary Raymarine display. So there's the E-Series Raymarine display. There's one the exact same as the lower helm station that goes up here. The owner just keeps it at home because he never really helms the boat from the flybridge. But you can install that too, so you get the exact same navigation system up here as you do downstairs. But to run through the switches here on the dash, so we've got trim tab switches here to control the trim tabs, and you've got your tab indicators on the dash, so you've got full trim tab controls up here. Anchor windlass switch, which is turned off at the minute, and the horn switch. Now the horns do need attention, they're not working at the minute, but we'll get those sorted before the boat goes. We've got bow thruster controls here, so you can turn the thruster on and then use this to control the thrust. And it's actually a very responsive thruster in this boat, so she really does respond well to the thruster. Again, important on a big boat like this, your thruster's in perfect working order. We've got auto helm controls for the autopilot, and also speed and depth log here. Controls for the remote searchlight, although this searchlight is actually mounted on the stainless steel light bar which lives on the radar arch, but it's been removed at the minute, so there's no searchlight currently on the boat. However, it will be replaced before the boat goes. And then you get your engine start stop buttons on both sides, and we've also got a VHF radio down here, an ICOM IC M421 VHF, which is in perfect working order. So let's fire the engines up just to show you. They start first turn of the key. This is showing like the autopilot system comes on whenever the engines are running. So fire up the starboard engine and also the starboard engine. So as you can see, the engines are starting nicely. Instruments are working. They're a bit fogged up just because of the temperature here. It's very cold today, but you can see we've got voltmeter, temperature gauge, which is cold at the minute, oil pressure gauge, which is working, and the tacho. Unfortunately, the hour clock display isn't working up here either, but tachos are working. Again, for starboard engine, tacho, oil pressure, temperature, and volts. So we've got a full suite of working instruments, and you get your Volvo warning panels up here, so if there's anything up, it'll come up on the display. And then we've got a centrally located steering compass up here as well. So if you're navigating by traditional methods, you got a steering compass there on the front. So lovely dash, everything's in good working order. So coming in through those nice wide patio doors and into the saloon, the first thing that strikes you is how spacious it feels. I mean, I've been on a bunch of similar sized flybridge boats, and this one definitely has probably the most spacious layout of the recent ones I've been on board for, and particularly a boat of this era as well. So we got a beautiful crescent shaped lounger sofa on the starboard side. We've got a double sofa here on the port side facing it, room for a nice big flat screen TV. We've got a lower galley set up on this boat and 2 cabins, so the boat's got 4 berths in 2 cabins, and it also has the option to make this area up into an additional double berth, so you can sleep 6 occasionally. So it's a perfect boat for a couple to go away on for longer periods of time, or like a family of 4, and you still have the option of accommodating an extra couple of guests if the need arises. It's a really nice spacious boat. There's no areas in this boat that feel pinched or tight or feel compromised, although it does have only the 2 cabins as opposed to the 3, which was an option. the two cabin boat is, in my mind, probably a more sort of spacious offering, and this one's in lovely condition. It also feels nice and fresh and modern, and that's largely down to the fact that the owner has undertaken a nice sort of extensive update over in the last 12 months. So that's included brand new carpets throughout the boat. So nice brown carpets, really good colour for, you know, not showing up dirt or marks, and it complements the cream leather interior really nicely. This is the original cream leather interior throughout, and you've also got like a nice sort of, I'm terrible at figuring out the names for wood colours, but it's a nice gloss pale wood that complements the colour scheme very nicely. We've also got brand new carpets in the boat, or sorry, curtains. So brand new curtains throughout, and also matching cushions as well. And then there's been a lot of other smaller detail-y things done, which at first glance you maybe wouldn't notice, but taken as a whole, it really enhances the whole sort of feel of the boat. So one of those things is the fact that all the little button poppers and clips and catches have all been changed to chrome throughout the boat. So you've got all chrome door handles and cabin locker handles. We've also got brushed chrome light switches and also chrome downlighters throughout the boat as well. So taken as a whole, it really does feel very fresh and modern. So it's a lovely looking boat, and it's in very nice condition, nice and clean and tidy and dry. There's no smells of damp or anything. There's no evidence of any water leaks in the boat. It is in good condition throughout. The settees are nice and comfortable, and there's room to accommodate probably easily 4 or 5 people on this side, another 2 or 3 on the other side, so like 6-7 people, no problem. We've got a nice saloon table here with which folds open to a larger size, and it's also height adjustable too, so if you do want to adjust the height of it up and down, you can do that. So nice folding table, so you can easily sit and have a meal around the table, or sit and have a few drinks on board. And there's still, even with the table fully opened and a bunch of people sitting either side here, there's still room for people to pass through the saloon. You know, it's not pinched that way. There's plenty of room between the settee on the port side and the table for people to walk past, which is a good thing. The other thing is that you've got these saloon windows set at a perfect height so you can see out whenever you're sitting down. Now they do have the sort of the late 90s, early 2000s style slats that you get on a lot of these British built flybridge boats, like Fairlines and things like that. You've got these sort of this style of saloon window, but you've got good visibility out through the windows, and they throw in a decent bit of natural light. Obviously you've got the big wraparound windscreen and helm side windows, which give you loads of natural light in the forward part of the saloon, but these ones here do a good job of illuminating the back end of her. They're also sliding as well, because you can slide them open for a bit of flow through of air on summer days. There's a bunch of storage underneath this settee, which is pretty easy to access. You've got 3 separate cushions, you can lift them individually and access storage underneath. We've also got storage underneath the little opposing a bench on the port side. Over here, a couple of things to point out actually. We've got a control panel for a generator back here, which I'll show you in a wee bit more detail here at the minute, but this boat's fully electric, so electric heating, electric cooking, hobs and things like that, and it's got an onboard generator. It's a decent sized generator. It's got 437 hours on the clock, and you just fire it on here, turn the key on and fire it up. It's in perfect working order. So you've got easy access. You don't have to go climbing in through the engine bay to fire up the generator and get your sockets and things powered up. Obviously if you're in the marina, you just plug in the shore power and you have full use of all your sockets and things anyway. Over on this side, we've got a nice big Samsung 24-inch flat screen TV, I think it is, DVD player. So that's a good thing to have. And then we've got a bit of storage underneath here. And then just on the back of this cupboard door, you've got the builder's plate. So Birchwood Boat Company, Challenger 440, hull number finishes 98. So she's a 98 model with a Volvo TMD 63P engine. You get your engine serial numbers on there. This boat's design category B rated for offshore use, and it's a maximum person capacity of 10 plus gear, so maximum weight 2,860 kilograms of gear. So it's CE certified and everything as well. So just want to show you the builder's plate. And these are the little chrome locker handles I was telling you about that have been recently renewed throughout the boat as well. Woodworking stuff is in good condition. Obviously carpets and everything's perfect. Window seals, door seals are all in good shape. Yeah, just a real nice relaxing area here in the saloon. Moving forward then, again a nice wide walkway. giving you access down into the galley a couple of steps down, or you can take a couple of steps up to the helm station. But we'll go through the helm station in detail now shortly. But let's go down and take a look around the galley here now. So obviously, because it's the two cabin version, you got a huge bit of space for the galley, loads of headroom up here. Good, but it's very nice and bright as well with the wraparound windscreen windows. The galley itself is nicely appointed with solid surface countertops, nice brushed steel effect splashback around here as well, which is another one of the owner's recent upgrades. Brushed steel sockets and all the little chrome clips and catches. And he's also renewed all the taps on the boat as well, just to freshen all those up. So it's in really nice condition throughout. So we have a twin drainer sink. You get this little area here to hang up the sink cover. Obviously hot and cold running water with that new tap, nice stainless steel tap. You have a load of storage in behind these panels. Dedicated glass and cup storage here. Dedicated storage for plates on the right hand side. Over in here, again, another decent storage area, nice and deep. It's going to accommodate a lot of equipment in there. In here we have our hob, electric hob. So again, because this boat's got the generator on board, fully electric, you've got a twin ring electric hob, which is in good working order. We have, again, you'll notice all these little locker catches are brand new chrome. Huge bit of storage in there, it goes right the way back in the corner, shelved out nicely. A series of drawers here for cutlery and all sorts of odds and ends. That's all in nice condition. Decent bit of storage, and then another double cupboard underneath the sink. Again, well shelved out, so you have loads of room. In here we have our microwave. So I think it is a microwave oven. Now it's an inverter type one as well, so I presume it works off the batteries as well as shore power. I'm not too sure, I'll need to check that out. But it's in good condition, doesn't look like it's been used very much. And again, because you have the generator on board, even if you need the shore power, 240 volts, you always have it. More storage in there, kettling things. And then this is where the fridge goes. Now the owner has had a problem with his fridge, so it's currently out of the boat, but it's going to be either repaired or replaced. So probably, was chatting to him, probably more likely it's going to be replaced. So there's probably going to be a brand new fridge in there, obviously a 12 volt one, going with the boat. So, but you can see it's obviously going to be a pretty big fridge, so if you are going away for extended periods of time in the water, you got enough room to carry enough supplies for a week away or whatever. But really nicely appointed galley, all in lovely condition. Nice teak and holly floor here as well. And you've got a bit of storage in underneath the floor too. Actually a huge bit of storage in here. You can actually climb down in here. So, and there's your sun pad cushions for the foredeck actually, over on the left hand side there. So, tons of storage throughout the boat. Everything's nice and clean and tidy and dry in there as well. So, very well appointed galley in this thing. So moving forward down the companionway, we've got access into our guest cabin here. First of all, the guest cabin is very spacious. It's a twin cabin, so twin berths with reading lights at the head of the bed there. The owner was telling me there was an infill cushion to go in the middle, so to make that up into a double berth. He got rid of it because he didn't need it and it wasn't in great condition. These mattresses have been just freshly recovered. The carpets have been recently renewed as well, but if you did want to make that into a double berth, it would be pretty straightforward to sort of remanufacture that filler piece for the center. But lovely cabin, mirror up here, access to the back of the dash there, two panels actually giving you access. All the little button poppers have all been replaced with chrome, LED lights throughout, little open and port light here, loads of standing headroom at the head of the bed, so you can stand and get changed here. We've got a full-size hanging locker, illuminated as well. These bulbs are the originals, but you could change those to LED if you wanted. So nice big hanging locker with the original red velvet upholstery from the factory. Chrome socket covers here. And you've also got ensuite access to the day heads, which is a really nice touch. Just turn on the light. So if your guests are using the bathroom at night time. They don't have to leave the cabin, so that's a really nice little feature. Let's take a look around the heads now. So this is the day heads, with the lights on, the fans running, so that's why it's a little bit noisy, but really nice and bright. Loads of LEDs in here. Actually, there's 5 LEDs, chrome LED lights in here. All the shower fittings and things have been recently renewed as well, so brand new shower fittings. This entire compartment is fiberglass lined and drained overboard. We got a full length mirror there, which is good. We've got cabinets with mirrors in them here as well, so bit of storage in each of these. Another open and port light there for a bit of ventilation. Nice solid Korean style countertop, hot and cold running water obviously, and then your toilet is underneath this fiberglass lid. So this is an electric flush toilet. It's been winterized, so you've got antifreeze or coolant in the bowl there at the minute. But if you're not using the toilet and you are showering, you've got that as a little sort of shower seat in there as well. So really spacious day heads in beautiful condition. At the end of the companionway, we have the master cabin. So an island double berth along the center line, again with a brand new mattress cover. Beautiful woodwork and joinery throughout. The boat's really well constructed. Nice leatherette headliner. Again, all of these bulbs have just recently been upgraded to LED, but they're nice bright LEDs, which is great. We've got open and portholes on both the port and starboard side for a wee bit of natural light and ventilation. Curtains to screen those off at night time, which are brand new. Bit of storage, little bedside locker on both sides of the bed, and a nice bit of storage space along the shelf here. Over on the starboard side, we have a large hanging locker, again illuminated. So nice hanging locker with a little storage shelf below it as well. So huge big locker there, great bit of storage space all throughout this boat really. Little mirror up at the head of the bed, opening deck hatch for a bit of, again, more light ventilation, and works as a safety hatch too. Another porthole over here, little vanity unit dressing table. These open up, you get a bit of storage in there, and you also have storage underneath here. Just close these back over again. All the mirrors have recently been replaced as well, and then a bit of storage in your dressing table there. Again, carpets are brand new throughout the companionway and the cabin, and you've got a totally private, chrome light switches all upgraded throughout, and sockets throughout the boat. And then you get a totally private master ensuite. Just turn that on there. Again, LED lights throughout, giving it a nice bright light in here. Mirrors all renewed and replaced. A full length mirror here as well. This is always good. There's one thing I find on a boat is there's very few full length mirrors, so if you're getting ready for a night out, it can be a bit of a mission to try and figure out what you look like, but with nice full length mirrors throughout this boat, that's taken care of. Again, huge big heads compartment, solid surface countertops. Sink is underneath this fiberglass lid. Again, another electric, or sorry, not the sink, the toilet, electric flush toilet, been winterized. And we've got this nice sliding perspex door on the shower enclosure, so a totally separate shower enclosure with its own lights in here as well, and brand new shower hardware, also nice chrome shower hardware, and a little seat in there too, so that's all fiberglass lined, drains overboard. Teak and holly flooring throughout the heads, storage behind the vanity unit there as well, with the mirrors and all open and port lights. So an excellent ensuite heads compartment for the master cabin. Just before we take a look at the helm station, I want to show you briefly the panel here. So it's nice and easy to get to, just literally behind the settee here. And this is your full 12 volt and 240 volt switch panel. So you get your main battery isolator switches here. So it means you don't have to go hoking around again in the bulges or anything to turn on battery isolator switches. Just hit these two switches up to turn on your service battery, which is domestic batteries, and your engine start battery for all the dashboard systems. Then this side of the panel is for all your 12-volt gear, so things like anchor windlass, trim tabs, engine controls, engine room fans, bilge fans, autopilot, for all your lighting systems, cabin lights, anchor lights, nav lights, and then your toilets as well. This boat has electric flush toilets on it, wipers, screen wash, all sorts of bits and pieces of 12-volt gear you can all easily turn off and on here. And if anything trips out, you can reset it back in again. You've got voltmeters for your engine, your service battery, and your 2 service batteries actually for here. And then this side of the panel is your 240-volt supply, so your shore power system or your generator, whichever you're running off. Then you got your isolator switches for your 240-volt equipment, being your water heater, sockets, 2 for sockets, battery charger, hob, electric hob, and your microwave oven. Main incoming breaker here, and your voltmeter for your supply. So nice, simple, straightforward panel that you don't have to go hunting through the boat for. Very easy to turn off and on your equipment here. The boat's also had a recently replaced stereo system, so it's got an Alpine stereo, which is USB and MP3 player inputs, and also front loading CD player and tuner. And it's currently got 4 speakers running off it, so you get the 2 here in the saloon, and you've got 2 up in the flybridge as well. So it's a good sound system, it's working well. Also, another socket here, there's loads of sockets throughout the boat, another socket there. And now we'll take a look at the helm in detail. So taking a look at the lower helm station on the boat, really well appointed helm, very comfortable seat actually, in the same cream leather as the rest of the saloon. It's easily big enough for 2 people to sit up here, maybe even 3 kids, you know, or an extra kid or something in the middle. But you've easily got room for 2 people up here. You've got great visibility all the way around the boat, nice side windows. This A-pillar is a little bit imposing, but not too bad. You can easily duck your head either side to keep an eye on what's going on. Nice big windscreen. It's well cleared with these twin pantograph wipers. It's obviously been a very cold day today. We've got a wee bit of condensation. We haven't been running the boat yet either, so we've got a wee bit of condensation on the inside of the screens at the minute. But you do have good visibility through the screens, and you're sitting elevated over all the passengers in the saloon here, so you can, and with that big wide patio door at the back, you've good visibility out over the stern as well if you are helming from the lower saloon or the lower helm station. There's a whole bunch of equipment on here. There's a couple of main things. I'll go through it in detail now, but if you don't have the patience to sit and go through every single switch with me, the main things that I like about her are the fact that we've got digital throttle and shifts on the engine. So we've got digital Morse controls. So they're fly-by-wire controls, which is pretty modern for a 1998 boat, but finger light controls, which is nice. So you just shift it, a bit like the more modern EVC systems you'll see now that Volvo do themselves, but this is sort of the predecessor to that. But they're working perfectly both at the lower helm and the upper helm, and it means that handling the boat in and around the marina is a breeze. Can just easily flick the throttles in and out of gear. They respond pretty quickly as well, and it's a nice system that's working well. You've got all the sort of equipment you could want: auto helm system, Raymarine E-Series, chart plotter, depth sounder, the whole works, and then your range of Volvo instruments as well. But let's go through it now in a bit more detail, and then we're going to take the boat out on the water and show you how it performs underway. So taking a look through the dash, we've got obviously our Volvo ignition switches for the port and starboard engines, and our little warning display panels. So it's always monitoring battery voltage, temperature, and oil pressure. So if you any of those parameters go out of range, it'll bring on the alarm and illuminate the light. We've got our fuel level gauge, 2 fuel tanks in this boat. So you get your 2 fuel level gauges for port and starboard tanks. We've got instruments for oil pressure, volts, and temperature on each engine, and then we've got our digital Volvo tachos. Now I should say that these tachos are famous for the little LCD displays packing up on them, and unfortunately this boat is in that category. Now the display, the owner was telling me that the display does come on intermittently every now and again, and the last time he saw it, which was a couple of months ago, it had around about 660 hours on it. I think he took a photograph, so he's going to try and dig that out and send it to me. So the boat does have around about 660, it's less than 700 hours on the clock. But the gauges will possibly come back to life again. And I think there is now a guy, I've heard a few people mention a guy who can repair them locally, so maybe we'll look into that as well. This is your fresh water tank display, panel lights, so you can turn your lights off and on, and alarm test for the port and starboard engines. That wee audible alarm possibly in the starboard engine might need we looking at. Let me see, turn that on. Oh, that's it, sorry, alarm test, that's panel light, alarm test. Yeah, so the audible alarms are working for both engines. So yeah, the full Volvo dash in good condition. Steering compass there on top of the dash. We've got a Raymarine E-Series plotter up here. This is a big flat screen plotter. Serious bit of kit actually, whenever it would have been new. I think it was installed in the boat maybe just before the current owner bought it. So that's possibly 6 or 7 years ago. Now the current owner has only ever kept and used the boat down here in Fermanagh on the lakes, and you really have no requirement for much in the way of electronics, so he wouldn't be completely up to speed on this stuff, and nor am I, truth be told. But I know it is an expensive bit of kit, and it was spec because whenever the current owner bought it, the boat was up in Carrickfergus on the coast. So the guy who had it up there was doing a bit of coastal navigating. Now prior to that, the boat was also down in Fermanagh as well. So it has spent a large portion of its life in fresh water, probably 10 years maybe. But it has spent a bit of time on the sea too, and this is sort of a hangover from that. But you can see we've got position information up there. You've got a whole load of stuff. It will hook up to, it's got radar. There's no GPS fix at the minute for some reason. No, there is a GPS fix. And no AIS, and it's not connected to the autopilot. But anyway, it is a pretty sophisticated system if you know how to use it. But yeah, you've got fish finder functionality, which is not currently engaged as far as I know. You've got radar functionality, which is, and you've got chart plotter functionality, and that this unit is replicated on the flybridge as well. There's a matching E120 Raymarine display for the flybridge. Also, we got a chart table area here. Just behind this, I want to just point out, this is like a translucent cover going down into the guest cabin, so that gives a bit of extra light in the guest cabin. It's a nice wee feature. Auto helm system, again, the owner's not really up to speed with that. This is some sort of color forward sonar. I have no idea whether this is working or not. It's an EcoPilot forward looking sonar system. Speed and depth log. Speed I think is working, depth isn't currently, but the owner's working on that to get that resolved. And then you get your controls for your autopilot, controls for your remote searchlight, bow thruster controls, perfect working order, controls for your trim tabs with indicators down here so you can see. Oh, let's go the right direction, that might help. So dropping the tabs down, port and starboard, you can see the indicators are working, shows you what position you have your trim tabs in. Electric anchor windlass is working, windscreen wipers are working, and we've also got, turn them off, screen wash. I'm not too sure what this light switch does. Navigation lights are working and the horn needs replaced. But good dash, everything you need, and we'll fire up the engines now to show you how they're starting. But they're starting first turn of the key, making good oil pressure and everything. So let's take the boat out on the lake now and show you how it runs underway. We're just out on the lake running the boat here from the flybridge helm, and she's running lovely. We're going to put her on the plane now, sort of run her at cruising speed, and then take it up to full throttle and show you how she goes. Controls and things are lovely. These are the digital throttle and shift. Just hit the select button up here to take control, helm up here, and it's literally finger light controls. Gear shifts are nice and smooth. This boat is also very easy to maneuver on because she's twin shafts. If we want to turn her, I'll just go forward on the starboard engine, reversing the port engine, and you can see she starts to rotate in her own length. So very responsive, very easy boat to handle in and around the jetty, and gear shifts are nice and smooth as well. Instruments are all working up here. It's just bringing her up to temperature slowly. And because you've got so much horsepower on tap, she really gets on the plane very easily. There's loads of grunt. So what we'll do, we'll bring her up to speed now, put the boat on the plane. losing light here rapidly, unfortunately, at the minute, just with the short days. But basically, the boat's running nice. It gets up on the plane quickly. It's very strong performing. Loads of grunt out of those two engines. The 370 horsepower a piece. It's tons of grunt. It's flat out at about 3,000 RPM. On my GPS and my phone, I'm seeing around about 26 knots. Now the boat has been in the water as well all season long, so the bottom does need cleaned. So I think the spec on her, whenever the boat was new, said top speed around about 29 knots. So 26 knots is a decent showing. No vibrations or anything. It's running well. Steering and throttle and shift controls are all nice and light. And then at your sort of normal cruising speeds, probably going to be around about 23 or 2400 RPM. And the boat's doing around about 19 to 20 knots at that speed, so that's going to be your typical cruising speed. Obviously it's slow speed, you know, just in idle, 600 RPM per engine. It's moving along about 3 or 4 knots, and it's lovely, real easy to control. As I said, very easy to handle around the jetty as well with those the shafts, and very responsive bow thruster too. So it's a nice running boat. Obviously, if you're going to buy it, I'd encourage you. The boat's staying in the water, so you're more than welcome to come and have a full sea trail on it. Bring a surveyor if you like on board, and satisfy yourself. But the boat is running really nice, and it is an impressive boat to drive. Taking a look then below the decks, underneath this aft locker we have a big laserette, but it also houses the generator for the boat and a few other bits and pieces, battery charger, inverter, things like that. So I'm going to show you around these now behind the camera in just a second. But we've got a huge laserette in here with a fiberglass lid box with a fiberglass box with the batteries with a solid lid, so you can step down in there pretty easily. And then underneath this forward locker is the engine room with a little ladder giving you access in there. Aluminium tread plate flooring throughout, so you get daily access to easy access to your engines. If you need more if you're doing any in-depth work on the engines, you can remove the floor from the saloon, and then you're directly on top of the motors. So if you're doing annual maintenance and things like that, you can get in that way. But if you're just doing daily checks, you can get in here. You can access the raw water strainers and fuel filters and things like that. So we're going to take a little look around these lockers now, just to show you how the boat looks sort of behind the scenes. So in the aft laserette here, we have first of all an isolator switch for the generator. So if you want the generator to run, you've got to turn on at that isolator switch. We have all our batteries in underneath here, or a bunch of batteries. I think there's maybe another one for the bow thruster up forward. There's a total of 5 batteries in the boat. Robert, the owner, was telling me, and they were all being replaced within the last year. So a brand new set of batteries, which is good. Just getting down in here, we've got our battery charger in here, which is again fairly recent. It's a Sterling, pretty beefy battery charger. You've got your fuel filter. Well, that's a water filter there actually. We've got a fuel filter down there for the generator. For the generator, we've got a HFL Gemini generator in this enclosed compartment. We'll fire that up from the cabin in a wee minute just to show you how that starts. But good generator system, and that powers everything on the boat. The electric hob, microwave oven, all the outlets for heaters and things. We've got our water lock, exhausts either side, and stainless steel fuel tanks outboard of that. So everything in here is in nice, clean, tidy condition. Everything's labelled, water balance pipe, exhaust water lock for the generator. Access to the rudder and steering gear in there as well if you need to get it added in an emergency. And you've got fuse panel here at the entrance to the compartment as well. So, and a good bit of storage in around there also. Just to show you how the generator control panel works. So you key on with the ignition switch, and then this is our clock here, so it's 437 hours in the generator currently. To start it, you have to turn on the master power here, hold this switch down, and then you hold the top of this one for heat to preheat. So you hold that for a few seconds, and then the engine start is the bottom part of that switch. So that and that to heat for a few seconds, and then the start is the bottom one. And that's the generator running now. That's that HFL Gemini generator. Whenever you close the doors, a little bit noisy out here. If we close the doors over, it's pretty quiet in here. And then you can run your sockets. You've got your 240 volt sockets, you've got your electric hob, your microwave oven. All your electric systems on the boat are powered by that generator. And then turn it off, you just turn the key back. So pretty straightforward way of operating the generator. Taking a look in the engine compartment then, the first thing you're greeted by are the raw water intakes and the strainers. So you've got your strainers there, which you can visually inspect very easily for the port and starboard engine. And if there's any debris or seaweed in there, you can clear them. We've got the calorifier over there in the corner. Fuel pre-filter systems down here. Both sides, again, they're easy to get to, so if you need to clear a fuel filter or change a fuel filter at sea, that's pretty straightforward to do. Then we'll just climb down in here and I'll sort of show you what I can of the engines. The engines being those Volvo TAMD 63Ps, and they're 370 horsepower a piece. Unfortunately, it's a bit dark in here now. You do have some engine room lights, but they are in good condition. Paintwork looks good. Engine mounts are showing a wee bit of corrosion, but definitely not too bad, and again, to be expected. There's no oil leaks or anything in here. They have been fully serviced regularly by Robert, who's my engineer who owns the boat, and he did service them in the last 3 or 4 months. Hasn't done very much recently, obviously, with it being winter. Boat's just about to get winterized tomorrow, now that we're finished the video and things, and it will be fully de-winterized and checked over before it leaves. But yeah, nice engine room, good access. Obviously, if you're looking to do any in-depth work, you're going to want to lift that saloon floor. But if you just want to get in for a visual inspection, get access to the strainers and fuel filters and things, you can do that through this hatch without a problem. We're just trying to catch the last of the sunlight here on this beautiful December, but very cold December day. But yeah, so basically, hopefully this has been a little bit more rushed than our normal videos, just because we are up against it with short days, and the morning the weather wasn't so great. But anyway, hopefully this has given you a good idea of the condition of this Birchwood 440 and what the boat's all about. It's a lovely boat. It belongs to my engineer, who I've been using since 2006. It has been well looked after. Maintenance hasn't been a problem. He's serviced it regularly. And if there are any snags with it, as there will be on any boat of this age and this size, there's going to be a bit of a snag list. It won't be a problem to get those resolved. It's been his personal pride and joy. He has really extensively updated it and upgraded it with the new Flexi-Teak decks, the new soft furnishings, you know, carpets and curtains and cushions and things throughout the boat. Also updating all the lights to LED, all the brush steel fittings and the chrome fixtures throughout, all the new bathroom hardware. It really has been sort of well modernized, and the boat looks the part. It's been compounded and polished, looks really well. It's running well on the water, nice smooth running boat. I'm a big fan of it, and if you are looking for a sort of floating holiday home that you can go away on for the weekend or for extended periods of time with the family or with groups of friends, then this 440 is well worth a look. Beautiful British built flybridge boat, great build quality, nice condition, and a really smart example. I would encourage you, if you are interested in the boat, to come and have a look at it. It's going to be on the water here in Fermanagh in Lough Erne in Northern Ireland. You're more than welcome to come and have an inspection of the boat, have a sea trial. You're welcome to get it surveyed. If you want assistance with getting a price for transporting it to your home marina or home berth, whether that's throughout Ireland or England, Scotland, Wales, or in through Europe, we're more than happy to assist with logistics to get the boat home. So that's our Birchwood 440 Challenger. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you found it useful.